I'm gonna switch to my chair. Let me rearrange the furniture a little bit. And if people come, then I'll flip back onto my mat. But otherwise, I might as well sit and chill. Hang on 1 second. Okay, here we go. Good morning, everyone. My name is DeJur. Welcome to UMA Community Clinic's weekly yoga class or stretch class. I'm going to start with chair yoga. So there's my chair back there. And just a couple of reminders before we actually begin is if you have any injuries, please take care of yourself. If I ask you to move your body in a certain way that is uncomfortable or causes pain, please don't do it, or maybe do it in a way where you're kind of testing the waters, basically, because we don't want to cause any more injury or re-injury to ourselves in any movement class or program or any exercise program. So please be mindful of your body. If you need a break, please take a break as needed. I want to offer my land acknowledgement that I am here on the stolen land stolen from the Tongva and Gabrielino nations. This was the first peoples that belonged to this land, and the land belonged to them. This land was stolen from them by the colonizers, or unceded is another word that is used, which means stolen, unceded by the colonizers and renamed Los Angeles. I want to give gratitude and thanks for them for caring for this most beautiful part of the world, and thanking them for their stewardship of this part of the world. And I want to honor ancestors past, present, and future to these peoples. You can do a indigenous land search for any part of the world that you are in. Just a quick Google search, indigenous Google search, Tokyo, Japan. I don't know if they had indigenous that were unceded there, but Australia has aboriginals. They were moved, land was stolen from them as well. So you can find out what part, especially here in the US, what part of the country that you're in, the nations that belong to that land before it was stolen from them. We'll start, as I said, in chair. I'm going to do a little grounding before I move back into my chair. So just sit comfortably, sitting up straight. You can lean back on your chair, but sit up really tall. I'm actually sitting on a stool for now. So a stool is a little more challenging to sit up tall. So I'm going to even work harder to stretch my spine upward, my neck longer, and my shoulders relax. So just have a look around your space. Also wanted to give thanks to the gardener who has come and gone. Wednesdays are his day, and usually he comes a little bit later, but when he revved up, I was like, oh no. Anyway, he's gone. Thank you, gardener. Across the street, not my gardener. But anyway, look around your room and see what you notice. Looking at colors, textures, objects. Looking at things that might, of all the things in front of you, around you, that might actually grab your eye, or catch your eye, or catch your sight, and put attention on that. Noticing 3 items that are the same color, the dominant color in your space. So I don't know if my dominant color is green or blue, but I'm going to go for green today. So I'm looking for 3 things that are green, and 1 thing is the plants I have. And I see a sheet of paper that's green, and a water bottle that's green. So just looking around, moving our awareness to our hearing and listening for sounds inside the space you're in. Having awareness of the sounds. It might be totally quiet. I hear I have a diffuser going over here with some oil in it. I can hear the motor of that. And then I have music over here playing really low. Other than that, it's quiet. We move our awareness now outside. So it's pretty quiet out there right now. I don't even hear any birds at this moment. So see what you hear outside. Usually I have trucks and cars and the wind, if it's blowing, I can hear my wind chimes. But right now it's really quiet. So what do you hear outside your window? Moving to the sense of smell. I just smell the oil I'm diffusing. I don't smell anything else. See what you smell. Maybe breakfast or, I don't know, laundry, the dryer sheets if you're doing laundry. Moving to the breath now. Move to the breath. So we're breathing through our nose, big, full, deep inhale. So complete inhales, fill the lungs, your body, the front of your body will change shapes a little bit. What I mean by that is big inhale, your chest will rise. And then as the breath moves into your lungs, your stomach will pop out. It's moving out of the way of the lungs. It's not filling with air. Okay, the diaphragm lowers to make room for the full lungs, and that pushes the belly outward. So pay attention to the different shapes that your front torso makes when you take big full inhales. And then notice the reverse when you exhale, how the belly goes in, the chest lowers a little bit when the air goes out of you. So just having an awareness. This is another way to focus our attention, is following the breath. Following the inhale, you might feel some warm, cooler air go past your nostrils maybe. And then notice when the air comes back out, it's warm. It's been warmed by the body and the lungs, okay? Take a few more focused breaths. Let's do 5 breaths for peace. I'm still on this 5 breaths for peace plan here. Just any speed or slowness that you'd like to use, but just take 5 breaths and we think about all the conflict around the world and wishing all of these, probably the whole world needs a little bit of peace. Just vibing on the peoples of these places, and especially the ones that are under duress, not the ones that are perpetrating. They need a prayer, a separate kind of prayer. But if you want to close your eyes, if that's comfortable to you, please do. Going to move on to the sense of touch. Bring your right hand to your left shoulder. I want you to just brush down your left arm all the way down to the left fingertips with the right hand. So starting at the top of the left shoulder with the right palm, and brushing downward and really noticing the sensation. So this is a way that, a technique that is called havening. Havening that I was taught in a workshop that helps to calm the nervous system. So if there are times where you're feeling like you're coming a little undone, you always just do these gentle strokes down your arm all the way to the fingertips. We'll change sides. So now extend the right hand down. You can place it on your right knee, and then left hand up above on top of left shoulder and just brushing your arm. So they're also called these arm brushes too. It's havening or arm brushes. Just again, not just doing these because I asked you to, but really noticing. For me, I feel the texture of my t-shirt, and then I notice the change over to my skin, and on this arm I have a watch on. And so I'm noticing the feeling as I go down. And then both arms across your chest. I want you to do a patting of the opposite. So my right hand touches my left shoulder. We're doing these separately. So not together, but separately. And this is another way to calm down the nervous system. Good morning, Evelyn. So glad you're here. Terlin, welcome. So we're just doing shoulder pats, and one side at a time. So again, this is a way to calm the nervous system. There's something about the cross body, so the opposite tapping, that helps us to As I said, if you're feeling unraveled a little bit or anxious, you can do these. And then with the first one we did with the havening or the arm brushes, you can do these. I'm going to turn my camera down for a second. You can do these on your thighs too. And sometimes if we're in a meeting that might be a little challenging or intimidating, or just, where you're just nervous, it might not be a big deal meeting, but it might make you a little anxious. You can do these kind of undercover under the table where nobody really can notice what you're doing. And this is what that doctor showed us in her workshop. But the same effect can happen just rubbing on the tops of your thighs too. If you had a desk or table over you, be pretty discreet. And so those are a couple of tools that you can try. Okay, so I was gonna do, we're gonna get on our mat, even though my chair is back there. I was kind of gonna flip flop around until people showed up. So I'm gonna move my chair and we'll get down on the mat, okay? Okay, so let us sit in what's called easy pose. And that is basically cross-leg pose, or the kids call it crisscross applesauce. I'm gonna put my tush on that blanket just because it was out already. Do the same. You can use a towel. And you want to find, you can either sit right on top of the blanket or towel, or you can find the sweet spot. If you tuck it just a little under your butt, just a little bit, you can find the sweet spot and you'll know. And you may have to adjust it back and forth to find out what I'm talking about, or you can just sit on the blanket if you choose. So again, this is called easy pose or cross leg seated pose. So we'll start with just some side to sides, and you may feel a little stuff happening in your hip joints when you lean to the opposite side. I'm leaning left, so I feel a little, whatever, opening in the right, just that quickly, just the first 2 times I rock side to side. So see what you feel. This is also a stretch for the side rib cage. So you might feel that as you sway back and forth. You can go as slow or as fast as you like. It's your choice. Next time you go to your left, I want you to hold to the left. You want to put your left hand down on the mat, you may do that, or you can just keep hands on knees. Just lean over to the left. Try to keep the right butt up on the floor or on your mat. Right shoulder is back too. You might want to come forward. You want to do a side bend, so keep it back. Not necessarily back, but keep it facing the ceiling instead of going backwards literally. So you just want to do a gentle side bend. Hold here. You can look down toward the left and hold that head turned downward. It's a little stretch on the right side of the neck. A little stretch on the right side of the cage. And inhale to the middle and go over to the right and see how things feel in your hips and side body as you switch sides. So the left butt stays down on the floor. Left shoulder stays neutral. That's the word I was looking for. So instead of it coming forward or backward, you want it just neutral. Look down to the right and see if you notice a nice stretch or lengthening of the muscles on the left side of your neck. Take some breaths here. And then let's inhale, go back to the left side and hold, look down. Take some breaths. Last time to the right, inhale, over to the right, exhale. Look down on the right, continue to breathe. Inhale to center, let's do some circles. Let's change the leg, put the other leg in front or on top. And we'll do some stir the pots, so it doesn't matter which way. Just again, noticing any sensations in your hips or in the rest of your body, doesn't just the hips. When you come up or back, breathe in. When you come forward, exhale there. Okay, so we move in the breath with the motion. Start to fill our bodies up with some oxygen. Then let's reverse, other way. And then come back to stillness, extend your legs. Windshield wiper your feet and shake out your arms. And then bring your hands, so toes, 10 toes pointing up, legs are straight out. So feet are flexed and exhale forward. No, we're not warm yet. Just come as far forward as you can. And look down between your knees and try to keep your back straight or flat if you can. Flat back or straight back and come forward. Look down between your knees. The flexed feet help to stretch the muscles in the calf, the back of the knees, and the backs of the thighs. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, arms back down. We'll do 4 more. Breathe in, lift. See what you feel as far as feedback from your body, the backs of the legs. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. That was 3. Inhale, come up. Exhale forward. 1 more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, hold forward. Look down between your knees. So this holding of this shape will help the muscles to give a little bit. And then inhale, walk yourself upright. Bring the right foot inside the left thigh. So the foot is just beside the inside of the left thigh. The left leg is straight. Turn your torso so that your body is facing the left foot. So this position of body, the torso usually kind of turns itself off, turns itself away. You want to put in the effort to turn the torso straight in front of you. And then exhale, walk forward. Same thing, look down at the left leg and hold. So this is a hip opener and a stretch for the back of the left leg. And then a stretch for the low back, the lumbar area of your back. That's the low curve. So hold here, looking down toward the left knee. You can also close your eyes if you want to. Inhale, arms up, turn to your right. Put the left hand on top of the right knee and twist your body, your torso to the right. The hand and back, the right hand is either flat on the floor or you can come up on your fingertips, your choice. You can also consider wrapping the right arm behind you toward right fingers toward left hip, or right the back of your right hand just at the center of your low back, the center of your spine. You can choose. When you wrap, you get a little extra stretch in the shoulder caps, the fronts of the shoulders. Okay. You're sitting up tall, twisting to the right, breathing through your nose. You might feel a little something happening on the inside of the left thigh. Let's turn our heads from side to side slowly. Sitting up straight. Checking on your breathing. And then you can continue to move your head or leave it in one spot and hold the shape. And then come back to center, extend the right leg out. Shake out arms and windshield wiper feet. We'll change sides. So the right leg is straight out. Left sole of the foot touches the inside of the right thigh. Turn your torso towards your right leg. And then exhale forward. Look down at your right knee. And hold here. And see how things feel around your back, especially around the waist area. Check in on the breath. If you start to drift off, bring your attention back to your breathing. And then inhale both arms up. I'm going to turn to the left. So the right hand touches the left knee. Turn your torso to the left. Right foot is flexed. You can either be on flat palm, left hand flat palm, or left hand left hand on fingertips, or wrapping the left arm around you so that your left fingers are near your right hip, or your back of your left hand is right at the low part of your spine. Turn to the left. You may move your head or not. You can decide what you'd like to do with your head. Sitting up as tall as you can. Shoulders are down and relaxed. You might feel something now on the inside of the right thigh, maybe. Come back to center. Extend the left leg out, windshield wiper feet, and shake out arms. And see if you notice, if you had your arms wrapped behind you, if you notice any difference in the way your arms feel. Both feet together. This is butterfly pose. If we had towels around us, we could put a towel under each leg to let the towel support the leg, or the outsides of the leg and thigh. Do that if you practice alone. You can bring some towels or blankets and put them under your knees, under the outsides of your knees. Just sit up tall here, drop your shoulders out. While we're here, let's massage our feet. So still sitting up tall, but just massaging your feet. Never miss an opportunity for a foot massage. And I was pounding around an airplane all day yesterday, so this feels really nice to me. Maybe pull the toes a little bit, pull them out of the, not out of the joint, but pull them a little bit. You can separate the toes if you want and bend them back. So try to touch the balls of the feet and then bend the toes back for a nice stretch. See how that feels? While you're doing this, your shoulders are relaxed and checking on the breath. The arch always is, could use some attention. And then the Achilles tendon is I'll show you, the tendon that runs from the calf to the heel. You can massage on that a little. And then if you want to fly your butterfly a little, lift and lower your knees. So when I started yoga, my knees were way up here. That's where they were. And I look around the room and like, dang, everybody else's knees are down near the floor instead of near the ceiling. And we're not supposed to compare ourselves in yoga. So I was new. but eventually they come down. If I practice a lot of yoga, like multiple times a week, like before the pandemic, my legs get lower. They never come down to the floor, but they do get lower to the floor. So it's just a matter of time and your body, not just the yoga, but your skeleton and how your hip joints are placed. So if you see, I taught some teenagers on Monday, and there a couple of the guys, the boys, their knees were way up in the air, and they asked about that. And I said, it just takes time, and you have to work on your yoga, not just during summer day camp. You have to work on it all year. So that's that. Let's extend the legs out in a wide leg seated shape. So toes are up. Flex your toe, flex your feet, and just exhale and walk forward. So I immediately feel stuck in the top part of the insides of my thighs. And I want you to have a flat back or straight back. So your chest is lifted a little bit and just hold here. You can be flat palm or fingertips, your choice. If I was a little warmer, I might be able to get down on my forearm. I'm not there yet, so I'm not going to force that. But if you have access to down on your forearm, that's great. Otherwise, get comfortable where you are. Look down at the floor and just hold here. Take some big breaths. Breathe through your mouth. So again, backs of the legs are getting a deep stretch. Insides of the thighs are getting a deep stretch, and the low back is getting a nice stretch. Turn your chin from one shoulder to the other. Keep the position. Just move your head from side to side. Then come back to center. Inhale, lift, arms up high. Exhale, arms come down, hands on the mat. Inhale, lift, feet are still flexed. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, do 3 more. Here's number 3, exhale, forward. Inhale, exhale, down. 1 more, inhale, lift, and exhale, hold. So look down on the floor and hold the shape again. Walk your hands over towards your left leg, one hand on either side of the left leg. Look down at the left knee and hold here. Try to turn your torso so it faces the left leg, the left thigh or left leg. And hold your breathing. Check your jaw, facial muscles are relaxed. Everything's neutral. Feet are still flexed up. So the feet flex, I mentioned before, the legs are, muscles are toning. They're passively being, they're being flexed. So there's a toning that happens. The muscles are contracted right now because our feet are flexed. So this is a passive way to tone your body parts, like your arms. When I say engage your arms, that's what's happening. So looking down at the left knee. Inhale up to center, turn to the right, exhale, one hand on either side of the right leg, torso facing the right thigh, front torso facing the right thigh. So you might have noticed a change of the stretch. So now I feel something happening the inside of my left thigh. These muscles on the inside of the thighs don't get a lot of attention typically unless you're a dancer or a gymnast, something like that, or doing, a stretch class or something. So this is an easy way to stretch out those muscles. Looking down at the right knee, continue the breathing. Inhale to center, turn to the left, exhale. Inhale to center, turn to the right, exhale down. Come up, inhale to center, turn to the left, exhale down. Inhale, turn to the center, exhale, turn to the right. Inhale, come to center, exhale, down to the left. Inhale, last one. Turn to the right, exhale down. And then walk your hands back to center and hold here. So now I can come down on my forearms because I'm warmed up a little bit more. So holding here, long neck, long spine, looking down toward the floor. And inhale, walk yourself upright, bring your legs together. See how that feels, how lovely that feels. So bring them back together. Windshield wiper your feet, shake out your arms. We're gonna come onto table pose. So on hands and knees. I'm going to show you again how to make your mat a little cushier if your knees are sensitive. If you have a blanket or towel, you can always use that. Just put your entire lower leg on the blanket or the towel. You can also triple fold your mat. So just pulling a section of the mat down, and this would be where your knees go, this part here. That makes it a little more cushioned. So your choice if you need that. I'm going to use the blanket just because it's here. So we're in table pose. So hips are over knees. Your knees are separated to your comfort. And your shoulders, elbows, wrists are in a mostly vertical line. We don't want a hard crease on the wrist, so we slide them out a little tiny bit. So the arms are on a slight angle. So it's not so much pressure on the wrist joint. Do cat-cows for now. So the spine is neutral when we start, and then we're going to lift the chest and the chin and arch the back. This is the cow. We're going to hold here to allow the muscles to release a little bit, to just hang out here. Move your breath. So imagine you are a horse and there's a saddle on your back, pretty much. Just hold here. Breathing, chest is lifted, chin is lifted a little. And then let's go to cat. Exhale, chin to chest. The spine lifts up toward the sky. And hold here, keep the breath moving. And then let's go back to cow. Chest lifts, chin lifts, back arches. Hold here, keep the breath going. This feels really good. The cow for me, after my long day at work, or on the plane, not that I was at work, but on the plane. And so I'm just so happy that I can do this right now just to release some of the tension out of my low back. Take a couple more breaths here. And then last time in a slow cat. So lift spine up, chin to chest, exhale, hold, and breathe. I want to go back into cow just for a little bit more information. So the cow is actually a back bend, but we're also getting a nice stretch on the front part, the superficial, the front part of the torso. And so it's a kind of a bonus shape. The back is getting a back bend and the front is getting stretched out. Okay, so now we're going to go in real time. We're linking the motion and the breath. So exhale into cat. Inhale to cow. We'll do one more set together, then I'm going to let you go off on your own. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. And then go on your own timing, rhythm, pace, and all that for a few. Do 3 more sets. Really move your breath. And then come back to neutral after your last one. See how you feel. You're full of oxygen right now. See if you notice any changes. We're going to do hip circles. So anything that feels nice with your hips. I'll show you a couple of things. So really big circles where your tush comes near your heels. Or you can do the same with a more vertical circling, which means your knees and your hips stay in a line. Okay, so that's more vertical. You can try that. You can just shift your hips from side to side. So try that, see how that feels. Try a few of those. You can bend one elbow, dip. I did my left elbow bent, dipped my left shoulder. You can try that. Right dip, elbow bends, right shoulder comes down. So try any combination of those and kind of freestyle it. See what feels nice. Sometimes our bodies do what it needs. So see how that works. Moving the breath. And extend, come into a brief child's pose while you're doing these. We're going to try a pigeon pose. I don't think I've done pigeon with you all ever. It's a hip opener, and I'm going to show you two ways to do it. So traditional pigeon, we are on table pose, sliding. Let's do the right knee toward the right wrist. And I'm going to turn and do it sideways too. Sliding the right leg back. So basically what happens is the lower part of the leg crosses the body, crosses the floor. And some people can get their lower leg to go with the edge of their mat. I'm not trying for that because that's a very, what is the word? Subjective way to put your leg. Not all hip joints are going to allow that. And when I was in my beginning of yoga, the teacher was trying to get our leg to go across the mat, sort of like this. But a lot of people don't do that. So what we're working for is to staying on top of the left thigh, on top of the left leg, on top of the left foot. I'm going to turn sideways. We can either have our arms like they were in table. Some of you may get forearms down. It doesn't matter about the arms. Sometimes you can go all the way down, forehead to the floor. That doesn't matter. The shape of the hip is what this is about. This is a hip opener pigeon. I'm going to turn sideways. I'm going to change my leg so you can get a better view. So you just watch me. So I'm doing my left leg, but I want you to stay on your right. I'm sliding my left knee toward my left wrist, toward it. I'm letting the left leg cross over a little. I'm pushing back on my right leg. My right foot, I'm on top of it. The feet want to sickle out. The heels want to fall out. You want to stay on top of that. In this case, my right leg, your left. And sliding back. Chest lifted. And you can be up on your arms, down on your forearms, forehead down, whatever you can do. Okay, so now I want you to come out of the shape, go into table, and just hold there. I'm going to show you another way to do pigeon, which is on your back. Supine pigeon, on your back pigeon. And this one you might like more. You can do this one on the left side. So it's the same shape, except now the floor is under me instead of me facing the floor. So this is the same shape, same pose. So if you want to try this on the left leg or try the facing downward on the left leg, feel free. I'm going to do my left leg facing down. So again, if we're facing down, we're starting table, sliding the left knee toward the left wrist, sliding the left leg across, whatever across is for you. And then sliding backwards on the right leg, keeping the top of the right foot on the mat, either arms straight, You can do forearms or forehead down, your choice. Just hold here. So this is a hip opener. Check your breath. So the breath is calm. Even though I feel like I want to breathe really fast and hard, I'm going to control my breath. Controlling the breath. And then when you're ready, if you are seated, I just want you to sit back on your tush and bring both legs in front of you. And shake out your legs. So that's pigeon pose and supine pigeon. So my wrists feel a little, so I want to show you, if you do that, if your wrists were giving you like the fever, you can always take, I don't have it here, but a belt, not a yoga belt, a strap for yoga or a belt, and put it under your mat. And I'll show you, I'll try to remember to show you next week. And find a little ledge. So I'm going to do it with my blanket. So the ball of my thumb and the end of the pinky finger are resting on the edge of my blanket in a certain way that takes pressure off of that part. We were on our hands for quite a while, so that might be the reason why mine hurt, but it would look like this. So that the heel of the hand is lifted a little bit up off the surface. And that's if your wrists were feeling sensitive, okay? Let's do a down dog or two before our time is up. Come back to table. And down dog again, we curl our toes under. Before we go up, I want you to just lean back towards your heels and let's get a nice stretch for the feet. See how that feels. And then come up to table. The toes are still curled. Inhale, lift your butt up toward the ceiling. And let's pedal the legs. So like a bike, bend one leg, straighten the other, alternate. So I've told you this a million times. Supposedly the down dog is one of the resting poses. There's 4 resting poses of yoga. And this is one of them, believe it or not. Even though it seems like it takes a lot of energy to be upside down like this. And then we're going to lift and lower both heels at the same time. See what you feel in your calf muscles when you do this. And moving the breath. And then come back to neutral in down dog. Lift the left leg as high as you can, whatever that is for you. Doesn't matter how high. Try to lower the right heel. Doesn't have to touch the floor, but just keep it low instead of being up on a tiptoe. That's a different pose. And just hold here, left leg up, check your breath. And then lower left leg, left foot, lift right leg as high as you can. Doesn't matter how high. Left heel is low-ish toward the mat. And then lower the right foot down. Come back to table. And then we're gonna sit in, this is called thunderbolt pose. So try to bring the tush to the heels. If you cannot, you can stay a little bit up in a sort of down dog, but not down dog. It's sort of a, what is this called? Sort of a hero's pose, where you don't have to touch the heels. This is called thunderbolt or hero's pose. I have sort of renamed it a little bit to Shiro's pose for women power here. It took me a while to get comfortable with this. In the beginning of my yoga training, it was like very hard to do because the muscles on the tops of my feet and my shins were tight because I hadn't been doing anything about that. We can also curl the toes under and bring heel, tush to heel. This was really torturous for me in the beginning, but over time I just kept trying. Remember I said, try it out, see if it hurts or if it's too painful as far as injury goes. Same thing with, we don't have to do the full thing. We can work our way up to the full thing. So this is another great way to stretch out your feet. Come back to table. Lift. We're gonna go back to down dog. So inhale, toes curl, inhale, tush lifts, and then lift the right leg and bend it. You turn your torso to the right. This is called three-legged dog. So this is a deep stretch for the right side of your rib cage. You might feel that. Breath here, breathing controlled. And then straighten torso toward the floor, straighten the right leg, right foot down. Inhale, lift the left leg, bend the left knee, turn your torso to the left and hold and breathe. I feel a big stretch in the front of my left thigh and on my left side body. And then inhale, straighten the left leg, torso faces the floor, lower the left foot, come down to table. Now we're moving all the way down to child. So separate your knees really wide, big toes touch, arms go straight out above your head, palms on the floor, forehead on your mat, and rest there. You can also bring your hands, stack your hands one on top of the other, put your forehead on your hands. Take a rest here, breathe through your nose. So that was a little down dog sequence with the three-legged dog, turn the torso, hold. Taking some breaths and do a body scan while we're resting. Checking your, not checking your body, but checking for sensations that you might notice. Smoothing out the breath, checking on the jaw. Let's come back up to table, extend your right leg out. So we're gonna pulse the right leg. So pulsing, pushing, use your hands to push back, stretching out the back of the right leg. The right leg is as straight as you can make it, and we're kind of pushing toward the right heel. So we're pulsing to stretch out the calf muscles, they get tight. Everything gets tight. We have to fight it every day. And then we're gonna hold pushing back. So pushing back, right leg is as straight as you can make it. Pushing through the right heel. Then release that, come back to table. Extending the ball of the left foot out. So we're pulsing back on the left leg, through the left heel. Pulse and breathe. And then hold, push back and hold and take some breath. And then release, come back to table. You can either, two ways to get back on our butts. So I'm gonna turn my back. You can cross the legs, roll back onto your butt, or from table, you can just turn your legs to whatever side, sit back and swing them forward. We're coming all the way down on our backs. Feet stay planted on the mat, knees bent. Going to do a couple of bridge poses. So the knees and ankles are in a vertical line. Separate your feet so that you're comfortable, so that you have room. If you want room, more room, less room. The feet are separated, knees over thigh. Pushing palms down into the mat. Inhale, lift your pelvis up. Exhale down. So this is a back bend, but also a stretch for the front around the pelvis area, pelvic area. Lift on an inhale. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. You might feel a little stretch on the tops of the thighs. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. And this last one, we're gonna lift and hold. So inhale, lift, breathe, hold, pushing pelvis up, pelvic bones up toward the ceiling, thighs up, and hold here. So this is also an inversion. I talked to you about the inversions. I didn't go into it with the down dog, but while we're here, anytime your head is lower than your heart, or your head and heart are on the same level, laying down horizontally, you're getting an easy flush of oxygen to your brain. So in this case, our heart is higher than our head. So our heart is getting a little grace from gravity pulling downward. We have now gravity pulling the blood toward the brain, sort of. I'm sure Miss Evelyn could give me a better way to say that anatomically. But anyway, these are back bends as well. Bridge pose. This is bridge pose. And then release, come down, and see how nice your butt feels, just relaxing again. Extend the legs out. We're gonna move, before we do that, feet flat on the floor again, and then let's just windshield wiper our knees a couple times, just to release the low back. So side to side with the knees. See how lovely you feel. And then we can extend the legs out. We're going into final relaxation. So you can either lay on your back in corpse pose or knees to chest and then turn to your favorite side. Use the bottom arm for your pillow, your choice, and let the arms rest. For in my case, the left arm rests on top of my left leg. Okay, so those are your choices. For you can do Shavasana sitting up. Final rest can always be done seated as well. Always options with our yoga practice. Always options. One day we might not feel comfortable laying flat. One day we might not want to lay on our side for whatever reason. So just resting, whichever way you are resting, and focusing on your breathing. The breath is smooth. And focus your attention on your feet. Take a breath in here. Focusing on your hands. Take a big breath in here. Focusing on your arms and legs. Breath in. Exhale. Focusing on your spine. Big breath in. Exhale. Focusing on your breath. Exhale or inhale and then exhale. Focusing on peace. Inhale, exhale. When you're ready, take a big breath in and then stretch your arms over your head. Big stretch. And then exhale, if you're on your back, exhale knees to chest and then turn onto one side. And hold there. You can use the bottom arm for a pillow if you're moving into that position, and hold there. Take some more breaths. And then when you're ready, come up to seated. Thank you so much for coming to class. I really appreciate you taking time out of your morning to be here. Thank you, Shallon and Black Visions of Wellness. And thank you, Evelyn, for having me. And I want to leave you with, may you be happy, may you be at peace, and may you be an instrument of social change. Thank you so much. You can open your mics if you want to say